Hello.
How fluent are the Filipinos in English?
Oh, we already saw if they could speak their own language.
Yeah, everyone seemed to really like that video, so we decided we'd do this one.
Let's do it. Let's see some Filipinos speak in English. We know they can do that. I guess let's see how well they can do it. I mean, we know the SB19ers, they can definitely speak English.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting for those that, like, since they learn in school, a lot of people nowadays learn English in school, if they can just, like, turn on English instantly, whereas they couldn't turn on Filipino instantly as well, or if it's going to be still hard for them when they mix it all together.
And we're not bilingual, so we don't know what that, like, process is like to have two languages just, like, in your brain.
Just, and they're just going, fighting each other. They're like, hey, man.
Hey, I want to speak.
And they're like, ba la la la. The other one's like, hey, man. And the other one's like, ba la la la.
And then I'm like, hey, let me in. At least one word, please.
So stupid.
Super stupid.
Let's do this. See what this one's like. It'll be very interesting to compare.
Definitely.
Here we go.
Mabuhay everybody. Ako po si Marie from Asian Boss. Did you guys
Should
get
you say?
that?
I
was speaking in Taglish, one of the most spoken languages in the Philippines. In one of our previous videos, we did a street interview in Manila and challenged Filipinos to speak only in Tagalog. But
We saw
today
that.
we're going to switch the challenge and have people speak only in English. So
Interesting.
let's see how well they do.
Sa tingin nyo, ilang percentage ng mga Pinoy ang nagsasalita ng English?
I think 80 to 85%.
Sa panahon ngayon, 30% na lang palagay ko.
Mga nasa 80%.
Siguro yung mga magagaling talaga mga 25 ganun.
Feeling ko 70% kasi
Wow, very different
diba,
numbers.
official language din naman yung English.
Most of Filipinos, syempre, sa gadgets, tapos natututunan sa school. Halos lahat ng subjects, yun na yung ginagamit, English language.
Naririnig ko nagtataglish kayo, nagmimix kayo ng mga language, English, Tagalog, and even parang Spanish terms. Tama ba ako?
Apo.
Apo.
For the sake ng global viewers natin, can you explain ano yung Taglish?
Taglish po is a combination of English and Tagalog. In the middle of the sentence, pwede kang magtagalog and then switch to English. Parang hindi ko alam naging part na yun ng way ng pagsasalita, especially sa millennials.
It's a little windy there.
Challenge po tayo, ma'am.
Oh.
From now on po, English lang po yung salita nyo pagsagot nyo sa question ko. Is that possible, ma'am?
Yes, it's possible. If you ask us some questions about English, okay, you will answer also in English. Okay, sige.
Okay, sige. Tagalog din. Have you heard of the FIFA World Cup?
Yes, I watched FIFA World Cup from the group stages to the finals.
No. Kasi I really like volleyball. Kasi I'm a volleyball player since elementary. So yun yung doon naka-focus ako sa ganun. Pero yung sinasabi mo sport, I don't really have any idea doon.
We used to watch
Basketball.
FIFA because we are not a big fan of FIFA.
Why do you think, sir, our Philippine team failed to qualify for the FIFA World Cup?
There are a lot of factors that which is the Filipinos are not getting this, no? That is for my side.
The Philippine not
because Filipino.
we are not capable to qualify in FIFA World Cup because physically Filipino is smaller in height, and other is financially we cannot afford the registration in FIFA World Cup, or we are not physically fit and trainable in terms of FIFA World Cup.
What do you think should our Philippine government do or athletes do in order for them to be included in international competitions in the future?
For what I think, they should do more practice, and then what else?
For the government, of course, they should help the athletes too. Like, ano yun? like
Giving them, support.
Kaya pwede na po tayo mag-Taglish ulit. How was the challenge, ma'am?
Ang hirap. Mahirap kasi hindi ako nakapagsalita ng diretsong English.
Very challenging.
Kaya din naman yung iba.
See? Oh,
In a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult it is?
5. Yes, 5 is for the English and 5 for the Tagalog.
It's fine, it's fine. Siguro medyo prepared naman ako to speak in English because I am a future educator. So medyo talagang inaral ko yung English para may deliver ko yung lessons ko in the future.
Kahit naman like English subject namin, pinagtatagalog pa rin kami ng teacher namin, pinagpi-Filipino pa rin kami.
It's like us learning Spanish.
Hindi rin kami masyadong straight English ganun.
Mahirap po kasi mahirap maghanap ng words, ng right words para na English kasi usually Taglish talaga yung ginagamit.
Bakit mo minimix yung Tagalog and English sa pagsasalita mo?
Medyo bulol din po kasi ang mag-Tagalog.
Ang hirap din namang magsalita ng diretsong Tagalog. Kasi may mga Pilipino ang hirap, mas madali sabihin ng Tagalog at English.
Actually, hindi ko rin alam. It just comes off naturally.
Yeah, that's...
Pero meron kasing mga ideas siguro that are best expressed in English, and then there are others na mas maganda kung Filipino.
Yeah,
At
very
laging
interesting.
yung Taglish kasi minsan may mga terms tayo na hindi alam sa Tagalog. So, mas madali siyang
So
English kasi
interesting.
common siya.
May incident na ba nangyari na may kausap kang native speaker ng English and then hindi kayo nagkaintindihan kasi nag-Taglish ka or nag-Tagalog ka?
Yes, like for example, with my cousin, since he was born in the America, I was speaking in Taglish also that I thought he would understand, but no.
Last December when I was with my cousins, they migrated from Philippines to America. The scenario was actually in a Starbucks when I asked him to buy me a frap. So I said, bilang mo nga ako nun, nung mocha na yun. He failed to understand me, so what he did was just give me his money.
Tingin niyo po, ano ang tingin ng society ng Filipino sa isang fluent magsalita ng English?
Well, culturally, mga tao pag nag-English, syempre, uy, matalino, maraming alam. So parang mga iba, natatakot siguro mag-English kasi baka kutsain o gano'n.
Mas higher yung tingin sa'yo ng mga tao. Parang ang dating, ang galing, ang talino mo pagka-fluent ka mag-English, pero hindi naman lahat na fluent mag-English ay matalino. Diba?
Interesting.
Alam naman po natin yung mga Filipino, lagi pong nagpupunta sa iba't ibang lugar, ganun. Mas good po kasi para makasabay po sila sa mga tao, maging confident po sila na makipag-usap sa mga tao, ganun.
Kasi tingin niyo ba, dadating yung time na hindi na magsasalita ng Tagalog or Taglish yung mga Filipino in favor ng English lang, ng speaking fluently in English?
Feeling ko po parang dadating po, pero sana wag naman.
I think din na hindi yun mangyayari kasi sa panahon ngayon talagang, di ba, binibigyan na ng importansya yung wika.
That's interesting.
Kung yung apo ko, alam mo ba, English speaking siya, bata pa. Ngayon, nahirapan kami turuan ng Tagalog. Mali yung gano'n.
I can say possible. Yung mga grade 2 ko, grabe hindi talaga marunong mag-Tagalog. Kailangan mo talaga i-translate kung minsan. Sabi ko, buti na lang hindi ako Filipino teacher sa kanila.
So if ever po dumating yung time na yun, sir, ano po sa tingin niyo ang relevance noon sa Philippine society?
Parang may negative side din eh. Kasi yung culture natin, yung language natin, mawawala. Pero kung the positive side naman, kasi nga, magiging fluent yung Filipino sa English. So, kaya natin makapag-communicate kahit kanino. Yun yung positive. So, yung pagdating sagot, 50-50, may aangat, may babagsak. Ganun talaga yung mangyayari.
Very
Kapag hindi
interesting.
nagagamit ang isang wika, mamamatay ito. So, kailangan, pwede nating i-adapt yung Western languages, pero i-incorporate natin siya sa wikang Filipino. Kasi, through that, mas magiging mayabong yung wikang Filipino. Kaya, nakakasad lang kapag hindi na ginagamit yung wikang Filipino.
Kailangan mahalin mo yung sarili mong wika. Kahit na sabihin mo na second language yung English, hindi mo pa rin dapat ipagpalit
yung sarili mong wika dahil ikaw ay tunay na Pilipino.
So there
Very
you have it.
interesting. Very
We hope this
interesting.
interview in Manila, and we know that though it may not be an accurate representation of all of the Philippines, we hope that you learned something from this. What other
Thank you, Asian boss.
Yes.
But yes, pretty much we just our takeaway from that. I think, like we said in the last one, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But I think if that's kind of the way it's going, like that woman said, her grandson speaks English, and they learn it in school. Eventually, and this will happen to a lot of countries all over the world. Eventually, it'll just turn into English, and I mean. If that eventually in 200 years, if that happens, the English language that we're speaking right now isn't even going to be the same.
No, it'll be way different. I mean, you like look at a book in English from like 200 years, and it's not easy to read. Even like 100 years ago, it's not easy to read.
So it'll definitely.
I think a lot of stuff will mesh.
There'll be a lot of countries, things will start meshing together. I mean, in the English language nowadays, we use a lot of Spanish words. And I think things will mesh. English kind of is like the spreading language right now. It's kind of like a lot of Europeans speak English, a lot of Asian people speak English, and then obviously Chinese or Mandarin is also a language that's very talked. I mean, tons of Indian people speak English. It just seems like that is the way, and then the more globalized the world keeps getting, the more people are going to start learning that, and eventually, it'll be weird in like 500 years how much things will be different because the world will be so interconnected.
Yeah, and it could also be blown up by nuclear bombs.
That's very true. Or it will burn.
Yeah, true. This video is very interesting to me because, like I said in the beginning, we're not bilingual, so it's like it's hard for us to understand how someone can like switch from language to language and like why they choose to use a certain word in English when they could be using it in Tagalog or something like that. But like it seems to just like come naturally, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and then I mean, like the Philippines one we watched, it seemed like they were actually better at least obviously it's the sample size, the group, the test group that we got here. This group of people were better at speaking English than the last group of people were better at speaking like actual straight up Filipino.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
And I definitely noticed that the younger they were, the more likely they were to do better in this one, the English one.
Yeah, super interesting. Yeah, it would be very hard to go from this like filling in words with English words like in your language then to be like, oh wait, remember all of the words you usually speak in for the English words.
I'm sure the words that they normally would speak in Filipino they like always do, and then when they have to do English, it's like
It's very interesting, very interesting. I'm curious to go to, and the Filipino accents are all so different depending on like.
Yeah, that's one thing that's super unique about the Philippines is the accents.
Some of them, like in this video, some of them had super thick accents, and then like SB19, they don't really have that much of an accent. Like, it's pretty easy to understand them, where like some of these people, their accents were thick, where you're like, I'm not exactly sure what they're saying.
Yeah, and like there would be two thick accents, but they wouldn't sound the same.
No.
Which is weird.
It's very interesting. It'd be very intriguing to go to the Philippines and see like interacting with people. I'm sure a lot of like service workers and stuff will be able to speak English, but it'll be interesting.
Be able to communicate. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, like the video. More Philippines content coming soon. So watch out for that. See you later. Bye.